We're going to keep on working to make sure many people around this country who are already paying premiums are getting cheaper prices, that the money's being actually spent on their health care, that you're not having to worry about the fine print, and that if you don't have health insurance, you finally are in a position to get some at an affordable price to give you and your family the kind of security you deserve.
That was President Obama trying to calm nerves over his signature health care law today, as groups that were once some of the overhaul's biggest supporters are turning into some harsh critics. Unions now worry that Obamacare will send more people to the unemployment line than to the doctor's office. Several major union leaders sending a letter to Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid that reads, in part, quote, "We can no longer stand silent in the face of elements of the Affordable Care Act that will destroy the very health and well-being of our members, along with millions of other hardworking Americans." So let's debate this. Alan Colmes is a Fox News contributor. Jonathan Coleggio is a Republican strategist and director of communications for American Crossroads. Gentlemen, thanks for being here.
Hi, Allison.
Thank you.
Alan, what do you think of these union leaders who have now feel strongly enough to come public with this letter saying that they worry about their members becoming part-time workers or even unemployed as a result of
What's
this?
really behind this is that unions, one of the things unions offer their workers are health care plans and negotiating health care for them, but the government does it for them, or if other plans like the exchanges in these states does it for them, it gives union members less of an incentive to stay union members. That's really what's behind this. The fact of the matter is, it's just announced today by the president that 8.5 million Americans are getting in total about $500 million in rebates. And furthermore, in New York State, Governor Cuomo announced that some premiums are going down for millions of New Yorkers, 50%. And in other states, the same thing because of these exchanges. This is actually good news coming out of the health care support.
Alan, it is good news for some New Yorkers who are paying the highest premiums in the country. But we've heard that some states like Ohio, their premiums will be spiking by upwards of 70% is the estimate. So I want to bring in Jonathan. Jonathan, what do you think? I mean, is this, obviously Karl Rove at American Crossroads has penned this column saying that it's possible that the Affordable Care Act will lead to unemployment or at least just part-time employment.
Well, look, when Obamacare passed, it relied on three central promises. The first was that it would keep costs down. The second was that you could keep your health insurance if you liked your health insurance. And the third was that we would get to universal coverage over time. But now as we're implementing the law, we're seeing that all three of these promises are fundamentally untrue. We know from the health insurance company, I mean, disregard what the state of New York is saying. We know from the health insurance companies themselves that premiums are going up dramatically across the board and that they've already gone up $2,500 per family since Obama became president. We also know that people are being moved out of their health care plans. In California, which is very, very restrictive, the two largest health care companies in the country have moved out of California, and people are going to be moved. We know this from talking to the small businesses, the chief actors here, that people are getting moved into part-time employment where they're no longer going to be covered by their employer. Finally, to add insult to injury, Congressional Budget Office tells us that 10 years from now, we're still going to have 30 million people without insurance, which kind of leads to this question of why on earth did we do this in the first place if its fundamental promises aren't even coming true?
I disagree.
Especially on the uninsured. I mean, you can argue with the Congressional Budget Office.
It's not true that the Congressional Budget Office also said if it was overturned, like Congress has tried to do 38 times, it would cost billions of dollars in taxpayer dollars if they overturned it. So you want to quote the CBO? We can quote them on the other side as well.
But Alan, about this one point, do you agree that it could be a disincentive to employers to hire full-time workers? If they can hire somebody for 30 hours a week and not have to pay their insurance, don't you think that the Affordable Care Act could prove to be a disincentive for full-time
I think for some people, and that may be true, I don't know that it's going to benefit everybody to the same extent it'll benefit others. But you said, for example, a moment ago, disregard what's happening in New York. Don't disregard what's happening in New York. Where premiums
No. I said listen to the employers who are actually making these employment decisions, because a lot of the time that the government is telling us what they think is going to happen. I mean, Obama himself, the administration itself said that premiums were going to go down $2,500, and we've seen them go up 25%.
Okay,
I
Alan,
would
respond
rather
to
be
that.
taking
Wait,
information
go ahead, Alan,
from small
respond to
businesses
that.
and from the insurance companies.
You want to ignore all the good news coming out of this today, and all the people whose premiums are going down, and all the rebates that we're talking about to 8.5
I'm just saying
million.
I'm a little bit skeptical of what a government official is projecting is going to happen.
Hold on, let me get in here, Jonathan, for a second. Alan, it does sound like from analysts that New York is a bit of an outlier, that New Yorkers have reason to celebrate their premiums going down, which were the highest in the country, but it's an outlier, and other states will be going up.
Because many of the other states, mostly with Republican governors, didn't want to institute the exchanges they were supposed to with the law. They didn't want to do it because it's being done in New York. If other states had followed suit like they were supposed to, you'd probably have the same results in some of these other states.
Jonathan, last word.
All I know is that the insurance companies themselves are saying that premiums are going to go up. We know from the Associated Press and from the Kaiser Family Foundation that rates are going up, especially on young people. 42% increase projected for young people buying insurance. So I don't think that the president has any credibility, and it's kind of troublesome when he's going back to these 4-year-old talking points that have been completely discredited by the evidence that we have as we're implementing the law.
Jonathan Colegio, Alan Combs, thanks so much for the debate.
Thank you.